With questions in the question bank and an assignment put into the course, we're now ready to populate the assignment itself with questions. So we'll go back to where we put in the assignment, we'll click it, and what will happen is it will say that we don't have questions in there, so it knows this is the edit step. So click Edit Quiz, and then just go right over here to Add, and there's 3 options. You can put in a new question, which we're not doing today. We can pull from the question bank, and then there's also a way to pull random questions from a large selection of questions if you have something probably by a publisher. So I hit from question bank, and then I'll have to come up, of course, and choose the category. I have 6 questions in a category called case sample. I'll choose that, and I can select these individually, but I'm going to select the entire group, and then I'm going to say I would like to add these to the quiz. Let's take a look at some of the options here on this page after we've added some questions. We can add more questions, and we'll get to that in a moment. But in the upper left-hand corner, you see repaginate is an option. If one has a larger quiz or essay than this, using repaginate to change the pages makes a lot of sense. Right now, I have 3 questions per page, and I like that fine, except perhaps I wanted to put 1 question per page when I revisit this quiz. So I come over here and tap repaginate. I say I would like 1 question per page, and you can see how that presents. If I want to move that backwards, I simply take the same steps. Also, if I'm revisiting a large quiz or test and I want to use some bulk items, there may be half a dozen questions or more out of a quiz of 100 that I want to get rid of. I'll simply come up here and hit select multiple items. Then I can choose as many of these as I care to and hit delete selected. And that's how one does bulk selecting. Or I can cancel. Now the maximum score I can get, it says, is 100. So if students can get 100 and yet there's a total of 120, this is simply going to use these scores as a fashion for weighting until it gets to 100. So I can weight these by individually touching these and change them, and I have an essay question here at the top that perhaps I would like to have it be worth more. I simply click there. I'll say half of the quiz test will be that, and then I can come down here and I can choose these and make each of these 10. And now you see at the top it says that I have total marks of 100, maximum grade 100, and the essay question is worth more. Going back to the left-hand side, there's another fashion for repaginating these. I can decide to put a page break in here. So now my first page has that, and you can see how that breaks out. And then I can also use this to remove the page break. Secondly, I can decide if my essay question, I want that to be the last question on here. I can use this tool right here to the left. This is a standard tool for move, and I can click that and pull it down till it is there. Now I can move this question up if I'm so inclined, and then I'll have 3 questions and 3 questions. This icon right here allows you to look at a multiple choice question. Now everything from here over, if I click this icon, this, or the question itself, it'll take me into the edit realm. This is an indicator that this is an essay question. This is an indicator that it is a multiple choice question. So I can choose each of these and edit them, and then when I'm done with that, I can come back down here and say I want to save changes. However, if I want to just look at it really quickly, I can choose right here where it says preview, and that just gives me this little pop-up. And of course, this icon is for individual deletion of questions. And if I'm done with that, what I can do is come up here and hit save, and it saves it. It's now created and ready to go. However, it assumes I may want to put in more questions. So if I choose to add more, I can do that right now. However, I'm done completely, so I'll come up here to the top and I'll click back out to the quiz itself. And now instead of asking me to edit questions or add questions, it says that I can preview it. So I'll have basically the same interface as a student does. But if I want to edit it further, what I'll do is I'll come up here, I'll select that, and then I will go down to Edit Quiz, which puts me back in the mix. As I do so, you'll notice it doesn't move back to a previous page, but this has been saved. And if I come back here using the breadcrumbs, I'll now be able to preview the quiz. And I hit Start Attempt as a student would. And my first question is an essay question. And I will just fast forward here, going through the questions. Question 2, question 3, question 4, 5, and 6. And I will see what my score is, and now I'm going to submit them all and finish. And I have to hit that again. And that's all there is to taking the test, and we know that it's functional and the student should be able to get into it. The dates that are set for when it's open and when it's closed will dictate whether students can get in there.